Hi, thanks for joining us this afternoon for BRMC's Healthy Connections. Guest today is Miss Cindy Costa. She is with the Hospital Foundation and she is the Director of Development. And she's going to tell us today about the Lend a Hand program and what that's all about. Cindy, tell us about that.
Well, this is a program we have every single fall, right around this time. It's always an exciting, fun event. We started off with a kickoff last Monday, and we just had a lot of people there. We had food, we had fun, we had lots of music, and it was just a lot of fun.
That must be where all those cans and signs that I'm seeing around on people's lawns, and the cans, are Lend a Hand cans, are in the various businesses around town. And tell us what that's all about.
Well, this is part of a way that we let our community know that we're off and running. You'll see yard signs everywhere. The majority of the beauty salons throughout Mountain Home and the surrounding areas, you will see donation cans in those. So when you see one of those and you have a little extra money, drop a few coins or some dollar bills in there. All that comes back to the hospital. Our Lend a Hand is there to benefit BRMC's 4 community houses.
Tell us about those.
Well, we call them community houses because they are here for our community. For Mountain Home, for Gainesville, for Harrison, just every way you can go. People come from quite a distance.
I've heard that before. I know that the hospital serves 14 counties.
They do.
Several of those are in Missouri, so people are coming over and using all of our support houses. And
they do. We also like to just let people know that they're there. We deal with them all the time, so we feel that this is something everybody can use, but not everybody knows about them. So this is awareness as well as seeking donations to help fund these houses. And the reason why we do seek donations is because these houses, they cost a bit to run every year.
Sure.
And almost every single service provided by these houses are free of charge. There is no cost whatsoever.
Talk to us a little bit about, we'll go over the 4 houses that you talked about. Let's start with the Pites Cancer Support House. Recently, they just celebrated their 10th anniversary.
They did. We had a big party.
Well attended.
Yes.
And I had the opportunity to attend that event, and it was very moving. It was moving because the cancer survivors that I had the fortune to meet that evening, in some cases folks that have survived not one but more than one cancer.
Multiple, yes.
Multiple cancers. So and talk about vibrancy and feeling alive and thankful for every day that they have. What does the Pites Cancer Support House, what do they offer to our community?
They offer a variety of different support groups. They offer different kinds of education about cancer. They can offer a one-on-one assistance when they come in with questions. They've got a massive library full of all kinds of books. And one of the most intriguing things that is in the house is the wig room. The wig room, okay. Yes, we refer to them as the ladies because they're on all mannequin heads. And there are probably a couple hundred different kinds of wigs, different styles, different colors. You can't go in there and not find one you just don't absolutely fall in love with. And one of the most devastating things, especially for females, is when you're undergoing chemotherapy and you lose your hair. Sure. So they go in there, they get a wig, they pick out whichever one they want. If they decide they want to be a redhead for a while, they can do that. And it's free of charge. They also have, in conjunction with that, they have a program called Look Good, Feel Better. And that is nice because a lot of times when ladies are undergoing chemotherapy, they just need that little perk. They do. Little, you know, perk maybe yourself up. You know, things have changed and their regular makeup maybe doesn't quite do what they expect it to. So we have licensed cosmetologists that come in and show them how to properly put on makeup. Plus, they're given a free makeup kit.
And these
go with it.
cosmetologists are donating their time?
They donate their
Oh, my
time. You know,
goodness.
they love being able to do this.
Yep.
And we have ladies there that will be helping, you know, women fitting the wigs and getting just the right one. And some ladies don't want a wig. They would rather have a scarf or a turban, something like that. And we've got plenty of those
Oh,
to
my
give away
goodness.
as well. So whatever they need.
So
for their
these are given
circumstance.
away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me about some of the classes that are offered there.
Well, they have a lot of support groups. They have them for different types of cancer, or they'll have like a men's group, and they can have different kinds of cancers. And we usually have one of our physicians coming in and telling them about what's going on in this field at this time, and it gives the men a chance to get together and talk,
Support
and,
each other.
and they do. They
Yeah.
do.
And feel comfortable about it because no ladies present during
That's right.
those. So
That's right. And they come in a little quiet in the beginning, but after they've been there, they're just one of the gang.
Yeah.
And they open up and they feel just so much better after they leave.
then they know they're not in it alone.
Yes.
I would think that would be something for every person who walks through the door.
Oh, there is. We had one of our ladies who actually had breast cancer and had it just before the Pites Cancer House opened 10 years ago. And she was pretty much alone and had to go through this by herself. And it was very devastating for her. And several years later, when she was diagnosed with cancer in the other breast,
Oh, my
she
goodness.
just didn't think she had the strength to do it again. But somebody referred her to the Pites Cancer Support House. She went in and she found a wealth of friends, ones that went to the doctors with her, you know, ones that
wow.
were there to give her a hug whenever she needed, people she could call anytime. And she said it made all the difference in the world. You know, she knew she could beat it.
I bet it did.
And she, and to this day, she's a volunteer there, and she loves
10
that
years
house.
later, survived 2
Yes.
different cancers,
Yes.
and still volunteering.
Yeah.
That speaks well for all that's offered
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Pites Cancer Support House. And I'm going to move on to right next door to the Pites Cancer Support House is the Rappel Diabetes Learning Center.
Yes.
And that also has a lot of educational materials, I believe.
It does.
And what else do they offer?
Well, they offer classes on diabetes. It's very important because right now the statistics show that everyone born after the year 2000 has a 1 in 3 chance of having diabetes sometime in their life.
Oh my goodness.
That's quite staggering. That is, it's scary. A lot of people are very afraid of diabetes and the effects. You know, you hear so much about diabetes. I know when I first heard about it, I thought, well, people that have diabetes can't ever have sugar again. They're going to have horrible health risks. Well, with the proper education, which people can receive at the Rappel Diabetes Learning Center, with the proper education, you can control your diabetes and live a completely normal life. And everybody that I know has diabetes eats sweets. They learn how to balance their meals. They learn that exercise is crucial, keeping their weight down. But the education is the absolute key.
And I'm wondering too then, when you said 1 in 3, is this because of our obesity rate in this country?
It is.
We've supersized ourselves right into things such as diabetes.
We have.
Yeah.
All you have to do is look at the schools and just see what the kids look like now.
Sure.
And in the spring, the Rappel Diabetes Learning Center holds an event. It's called Move It for Diabetes. And it's a lot of fun because bring kids in from all around, and we just have fun games and things that show you how to get outside and get some exercise. You know, when we were young, we were always outside playing.
And we just got shushed out the door. Go play.
And now, you know, kids have their video games, you know, the televisions that do everything.
Yeah.
and they lead this kind of a life. Plus all the fast foods, you know, everybody's in such a rush nowadays. It's so much easier just to go someplace and pick something up.
And not realize how many calories we're putting in our mouth.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, or what we're really doing to ourselves.
And there's also a lot of people that come to the house where they have a one-on-one conversation with the coordinator, and they have a wealth of information about diabetes over there, and they can give them some suggestions. Now, to attend the classes, you need to be referred to by your physician. And most insurances pay for these classes. Medicare pays for these classes. But if there's somebody that doesn't have the insurance or Medicare that pays for them, we do actually have scholarships available to help people with the cost. So nobody can be left out.
Yep, that's wonderful. And I know that there's quite the program, as you said, for the children. I've had the good fortune of meeting some of these children who may be on insulin pumps. And it is second nature to them, and they absolutely live and lead a normal life.
Completely.
I just met a wonderful young man who was checking his reading, checking his blood sugar levels just before he got out on the football field. So,
well, that's the important thing, because people with diabetes, their body doesn't process their foods the way, you know, our bodies do. And some people can be helped with just literally by the way they eat. Some people will need insulin, but monitoring that blood sugar, that's the key to it. And you know, once you monitor that and keep up with everything, you are good to go.
You are good to go. My goodness, I'm thinking our third house, the Maruck Family Center on Aging. What can you tell us about that?
Another excellent house, especially for this area, because we do have a large retirement community. People come from all over because this is a wonderful place to be. And we're better to have a special center for aging. This involves mostly people from age 50 and above, although if you're younger, maybe you're dealing with older parents. You can go and get information too. They, like the other houses, have an extensive library with every subject matter available. They hold a lot of support groups, you know, from things on Alzheimer's to dementia, stroke. You know, they educate people on that, teach people how to cope with it. They can, they'll hold classes on showing you how to take care of someone else. They have a little special segment they call brain teasers, which, you know, we all need a little help.
I was going to say we need a little brain
with our
teasers.
memories, and so that's a lot of fun. They'll have classes sometimes on cooking for one, because there's a lot of our seniors out there that are by themselves. And that are used to either, you know, cooking something big or
not eating properly because they're only making a meal for themselves.
That's right. So that's very crucial. They offer.
Okay, let's come back and talk about that a little bit more. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be back to learn more about Lend a Hand and the 4 community houses that receive the funding from the Lend a Hand program. We'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.